Hey everybody, it's Colette Baron-Reid and welcome to this week's Oracle Card Guidance and Lesson. And I'm way too hot in here to record this video. Mark, do you think we could do it in the house? Like there's no air conditioning in here, you guys. Like, come on! Wow! Want to meet my dogs? Air conditioning, yay! Okay, welcome to this week's Oracle Card Guidance and Lesson. As I mentioned, it is the week of July the 8th, and we have just stepped into Mercury retrograde this year for 2019. So now, if you are watching this video later on or whatever, and you're using the video as a way to, as its oracle on its own, don't worry about Mercury retrograde because it won't be when you watch the video, but it is pertinent right now. It's kind of mild because it's, we are in the time of Cancer, and Cancer is about family, and it's a water sign, and it's really all about this encompassing sense of readdressing some of the areas that need healing. We've got a couple of eclipses in July too, so it's a pertinent month, but it's a beautiful time if you're going to take a look at some of the issues around your family. And the cards this week from Wisdom of Avalon really underline that. So the first card is forgiveness. So that's the theme of this week. This could be yourself. This could be about how you are, forgiveness meaning like maybe you're overly perfectionistic and you have to let up on yourself. Maybe you haven't chosen you. Maybe you haven't put yourself first and learn to nurture yourself well. And there would be the forgiveness there. So it's not always about other people when the forgiveness card comes up, but it really is about a call to releasing yourself from the, when you get taken hostage by situations outside of yourself and also from inside yourself, right? Like you won't let yourself move forward because you're so stuck in the familiar, or you have these expectations of yourself that are unreasonable. All right, so the next card is the Goblin, right? So we have this little funny little face sticking his tongue out, and that represents the human ego, the wounded human ego, not the part of us that's well done. It's the part of us that have stories that we tell, these narratives that we don't get to be nurtured. We're supposed to be disappointed. Somebody else could take something away from us. Like this idea that there's less than, that we're less than, there's not enough, like all these stories that can come up. Perfect time to address this in the time of Cancer because it's the maternal, that loving quality of nurturing. It just comes naturally right now. So I'm bringing in the astrology piece here too because it's pertinent this week. I think it's important we all look at this. The next card is the Serpent, which is about healing. Like how amazing, forgiveness, the Goblin, and healing. Like you can't make this shit up. Anyway, so what are we healing when the healer comes? Well, it's a great time for us. Coco, do you need mommy to pick you up? Honey, can you give me Coco? Okay, this is like totally, Coco needs the healing. Yeah. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Let's get back to the healing of the world. So forgiveness, the Goblin. What are we forgiving? Goblin is the wounded ego. Could be our wounded ego, our wounded sense of self, the narrative that we tell ourselves that we're not enough, that people can take something away from us, that somehow we're not worthy, any one of those, sense of being, expecting the world to disappoint us, that kind of thing. Then we have the forgiveness where we let go. Now, it could be somebody else that's projecting that onto us. We might need to release somebody else from that same dynamic. And then the point of doing that isn't to be mad at them or to call them wrong names or even of ourselves. It's not about judgment. It's about release. So the idea of the serpent coming in to heal, it really is about making amends, healing, about doing good things for ourselves and others too. And what is the whole point of this conversation? I love this. The GRAIL night, which is seeking the sacred. So what if you could look at the wounded ego as a gift? What if you could take that goblin energy and say, that part of me needs love, and maybe somebody else who is acting out against you or whatever that is. You run into people who are curmudgeons or angry or whatever they project onto you. It's just so, oh my God, you just have to go on social media and you see that all the time. You have to remember that that's coming from a place in that person where they are deeply wounded and projecting that into the outer world. But it's not your job. It's not your circuits and it's not your monkeys. Your job is to just do your part for you, release that person, release that part in you, and recognize that love is the answer. Because we are seeking the sacred. We are seeking love. There is this beauty in the GRAIL night that there's this romanticized view of the world where love is the answer. And that may sound really corny, but it is the answer. And the best way to love is to first love the part in you that is reflected when other people are acting out, or the part in you that doesn't allow yourself to be fully engaged with your life because you've come up with all these excuses that weren't your fault. So take yourself out of the mix and take the fault or blame out of the mix. And if you can this week, really clean up. Who do I need to forgive? What I love to do, the Ho'oponopono prayer and how it works, and really how we are really responsible for any time that we see something in our outer world that we see as painful or as challenging, etc. And we act in this deep sense of forgiveness, where we take responsibility for everything that we see. Like, I am sorry, forgive me, I love you, thank you. Those are the 4 parts, but really take a look at that. And that's what I do. Whenever I see something like this, I'm like heading into an entire week where I'm going to practice the Ho'oponopono prayer all week long, and I will look for things like, what do I need to clean up this week in me and in my behavior or projections or opinions or about how I think about other people. We'll put the link below to Joe Vitale. It's one of the best courses that I've seen on the Ho'oponopono prayer and how it works. It's magical because the minute you forgive yourself, you set yourself free. The minute you forgive somebody else, even if it's for something that you think is unforgivable, you set yourself free, you set them free, and everybody is free. And then you really can see that the nature of love is infinite and it is at the core of life. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching this, and say bye-bye, Coco. Bye-bye. Alrighty, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel and send your friends over here. Tell them, how cool and fun this was for you to watch. And if you think it'll be meaningful for them, of course, and leave a comment because we love reading them. Okay, take care. Perfect that this is all going on, this big narrative. What? My hair.
Okay, go on.
Here's my man. No taping.
You can, yeah.
Mama's baby girl. Yes, we love you, little baby girl.